today's been a fun day. It's been a lot of talk about like how do we use the right words? What other things can we like do? How do we, instead of breaking apart the Democratic Party right away, how do we break apart the Republican Party first? And all the
Mhm.
fun stuff that you really want in your day. And then talking about Epstein was, the the at least talking to Ellie is that it was a highlight because Ellie's awesome. Um, and so I can't complain about that. And I know the show says Shane crashes out. I think Shane crashed out. Shane definitely crashed out
It did
today.
crash out.
Uh,
Mhm.
so I'm not Shane Urich, but I'm here with Melissa. Um,
This is
and as
Shane
we,
Urich's bodysuit that he puts on
yeah, I'm,
as a disguise.
I'm the bald, older version of Shane Urich if he could grow a beard and still had a snake.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Oh my
but
gosh. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's
so today I had to get rid of my chickens.
you had
I
to
had to
get
get
rid of
rid of
your
my chickens.
chickens.
And it was
Why?
and it yes. Okay, so you live in Arkansas. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming where you live, if you want to get some chickens, you go yourself down to the Tractor Supply or whoever you know that has some chickens and you get some chickens
yeah.
and
You
that's
just go buy
it.
yourself some
You build
chickens.
yourself yeah, you build yourself a chicken coop and you have some chickens. And so when I lived
Isn't
in
that
South
how
Carolina,
everybody does it?
no.
Oh, interesting.
No. So I when I lived in South Carolina, I just went down and got chickens and never like that was it. I put chickens in my yard and no like that was it. So in my municipality where I currently live, not only can they put cameras up without fucking telling you, they can you have to apply through the health department to get chickens. You have to
You have to
apply.
what? Wait, what?
You have to
The
apply
health
for a
department
permit through the health department. Yeah. And
for
so
chickens,
for
like
chickens.
the
So
things
I have
that can't fly and we eat all the time.
that humans
And
have domesticated for thousands of years.
oh
Right.
my
And yeah, so
god.
I get a visit from animal control like, I don't know, a month ago, over a month ago. And they were like, "We heard you have chickens here," acting like I was growing pot in the backyard, which we can do here actually.
So
Um, so
you can grow pot, but you can't have chickens.
so you can, but you have to apply for this permit. So I was like,
What a fucking
okay.
world.
I was I was like, I didn't know, my bad, dude. And this guy, like, this dude came to my door with all the energy of a federal agent. Okay. He was the second time he came, he was in a flak vest from animal control. Okay.
Who the fuck needs a flat? What are you
Like
going to are people, I mean, it is America and there are more guns than people. So I get the need for any officer to wear a flak vest. But chickens,
and you try to
chickens.
take a man's chickens, like
We've Melissa froze. It's the chicken.
so
It's
he
the
comes. It is. I
hold on.
think what it is all my am I back?
You're back. You're back.
I think it's my
Yes.
kids
Can you hear
all
me?
trying to game and stuff this time of night. They're all trying to
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, we've got a lot of
Get
internet
off the internet.
traffic on our side too. Get off the phone so I can download something on the internet.
You
Mom, I
interrupted
need
my
the
nap,
internet.
sir.
Oh my god.
God.
Do you remember like BearShare and LimeWire and the amount of viruses that we put onto our computers
Yes.
and like my and
Mhm.
just you would get like 3 hours into a download and then somebody would jump on the phone and your internet
Pick
would
up the phone.
die and you'd have to be like and you'd have to then wait until your internet screamed at you again to turn back on and like I'm going to be old and my grandkids are going to be like, Grandpa's yelling about the internet, screaming at him again, telling weird stories. He used to say we had to
Exactly.
put the phone down to go on the internet. I feel like an old man now. We actually
Yeah.
brought out
So
the old MacBook, like the old Mac box, like huge ass table sized computer when I was a kid to get the internet. Like that's how old I am now. My kids don't even
yeah,
believe
we
I'm
had
older
that too. The
than Google.
what was we had my first computer in our house was a Commodore 64. That was
Nice.
our first computer. Not to date myself. In a museum recently.
Did
That's a
you?
good
Did you just so
feeling.
does that
Yeah.
make you feel old or like valuable, like you
Yeah, just
meant
a little.
something in that piece of town?
Yeah.
God,
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah.
can't imagine what it's going to be like. They're going to start putting. Oh no, they already have. They've started putting Game Boys into museums and stuff. Like when I was a kid, the old Game Boy non-color, where it was black and white, and it was about this big, and you could throw it at someone. It was the size of a brick. You could pretty much use it as one. It was like the first Nokia brick version,
Yeah.
just with games on it. And now we have phones that are more
Hmm.
powerful than the space station.
Yes. And
Ridiculous.
our kids
Okay.
still come ask us stuff when they have the world's knowledge in their pocket.
Yes. Yes. They'll still ask silly questions. Like you don't have Google in your. The Oracle is right there. She can tell you everything. Just look it up. Just Google it. We had to go to
Yeah.
encyclopedias. We had to read. We didn't have
I
things
just
that
had this
answered us.
conversation with one of the kids yesterday about having to pick up an Encyclopedia Britannica and flip the pages and write notes and write a research paper because I was asking so my son is 19, so we were having this conversation. I was like, do you think my generation is smarter than yours or yours is smarter than mine because you guys know how to use all this technology? And he's like, oh, hands down, you guys are smarter than us. Like hands down, because you guys actually had to like read stuff
Mm-hmm.
and intake some kind of information and do something with it. So yeah,
You know,
but that so I need to finish this rant of chickens
back in my
because
day, Oracle was at Delphi.
yeah,
Someone just called us old.
yes, yes, we're old. It's okay. But
It's
yeah,
okay.
so I attempt to go down to the health department and file my first. I get on the site. I get on the health department website and I fill out their form for their chicken permit. It says chicken permit.
Chicken.
And like so I fill out the chicken permit and then I hit submit and it's broken. It goes to it's a broken form, right?
You can't even
So
apply
I
to get chickens.
email, right. So I email and I'm like, hey, your online form's broken. And this guy in a very scary looking flat at my front door told me I have to get this permit or he's gonna take me to court. So your form is broken. What do I do? They send me an email with an attached PDF, and my printer's broken. It's been broken for a couple months. So fuck, I can't even print this. So I was out a couple days later, and I literally went to the health department in person and I go in the building and I'm like, hey, where do I go for chickens? And they were like, third floor. I guess I'm not the only one on this endeavor. So they immediately knew. So I go up to the third floor and there's a little office and there's a few slots and it's like a permit for putting a pool in, permit for something else, chicken permit. I was like, cool, there's the form. So I fill it out real quick and I fill out every single item on it. They ask you to describe in detail the coop that they're going to be in and what kind of enclosure. And you have to like draw the lot and put where the coop is going on the lot. So I do it all. I'm drawing little pictures. Everything I fill out every
This is so much
spot.
effort for chickens.
So I go and I ring the little bell that I'm done, and a guy comes up and I was like, hey, I need to turn this in, and I need some sort of proof that I turned it in because the scary man is going to be back in 2 days, and I got to, you know. So the guy goes, oh, I can't approve this form. I can receive it, but I'm not going to say her name because I'm not going to out her. So we'll call her Susan. But Susan is out till Wednesday, and next Wednesday, and she's the only one that can approve the chicken permit. And oh, wow, okay, can you just give me something? So he went and made a copy for me and stuck his business card on it, and he stamped it that it was received. Okay, so the guy from animal control comes back, and I was like, see, the permit's pending. Okay, they've received it, they've stamped it, everything. He was like, okay, cool. So then I get a call yesterday, and I was in a live or in a meeting or something, and so it went to voicemail. Voicemail was from Susan, and Susan was distressed. He said, you did not give me everything I need. I don't have near the this is her voicemail. I don't have near the information that I need to approve this permit. And I was like, oh God, okay. So I try and call her back, and it goes to voicemail. I leave nothing. Today, I get another voicemail from Susan, and she's like, again, I don't have all the information I need. And if I don't speak with you today, I'm going to be forced to call animal control and move ahead with proceedings. Proceedings meaning sending this fucking G.I. Joe back to my house in a flak jacket to retrieve and take my chickens. So, shit. And at that point, the animal control officer had already told me if he has to come back, then he has to press charges, and I have to go to court. So I was like, okay. Right. So I try to call her back to find out what what more do you need from me, Susan? What more? Is there a blood sample required? Like, what more do you need?
Do you need my
Susan?
Firstborn child? What do you need? What are we getting at here, Susan?
And I get her voicemail. And I was like, listen, I have to go. She gave me 2 days, and I'm going to DC this weekend. I'm not even going to fucking be here. And I don't need the animal control guy chasing around chickens in my backyard to round them up. So I was like, man, you know, we had a little mini family meeting, and I was like, here's the deal, guys. It appears we got to get rid of the chickens. I just don't have time to like deal with Susan. And the chickens are apparently a big danger to Norfolk, Virginia. Not drones, not risk of imminent attack from, because we have the largest Navy base, but my chickens.
Yep. You, Melissa Corrigan.
Right now. Right.
Melissa Corrigan are a danger.
I go on Craigslist.
So if you went on
like,
Craigslist, do these people have chicken permits?
Yeah.
Do these people on Craigslist have chicken permits?
They live in the surrounding cities. They live in the surrounding cities that don't require a fucking permit. Only Norfolk.
Was it the drones that caught your chickens? Is that how they know about the chickens? Like, how did they find out about the chickens?
It was my neighbor. We have a neighbor situation.
What a snitch.
A neighbor. I know. So these people are grown adults, like in their 60s, that moved in their mom's house because their mom lives next door to us, and she's like 90. And I've seen her like twice. And shortly after we moved in, her adult kids moved in and just like took over the house. You know, I'm glad this is providing value to 100 people. So the adult kids moved in. And it's become like apparent that the kids are gonna sell the house now. Like, I don't know if she died or they put her in a home or what, but it's clear they've been fixing the house up, right? And in their process of aggressively fixing the property up, they had a landscaper come in and just tear down all the bushes between our backyards, which was already annoying because now there's like no privacy. But in the process, the guy cut the chicken enclosure. So our chickens walked into their backyard.
Oh, what an asshole.
Yeah. So this is all because they cut the chicken enclosure and release the chickens. I mean, the ones that release the chickens and
release the hounds. All I can hear is Melissa in the background. Release the chickens. Release them. It's like the have you watched the movie Mitchell's vs. the Machines on Netflix? Oh my God.
Yes.
It's like the Furby monster that comes out of the back that's like screaming, "My children, avenge them." Who would make that? Why these chickens? The chickens. God.
It's so my three little girls, I had to say goodbye to them, and all the kids said goodbye to them, and we met a very nice woman who has a very big farm about an hour outside of town, and she met me halfway, and she took the chickens and she looked me in my eyes and was like, "I will take good care of them." And I know she will, because she came in the same type of shoes I have on, which are like mud boots, you know? Oh, look! Yeah. Why is he being dramatic and flopping over?
It's Bucky. He's being dramatic because he would like to eat a chicken.
Drama king.
He would like to eat a chicken, and he's a bit too small.
I bet he would eat the eggs for sure.
Oh, he'd eat a chick at least. He eats small rats now, so he's getting up to big little critters.
Size. Good for him.
He's also like, he's not very big headed. I'm gonna try and stretch him out a little bit, but he is rather long. Like, he's my entire arm length. Okay, stop flopping around. You're just a wet noodle.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, he just has a little head. He's
just got a tiny head. He's large. He's fairly large now. He's just got a tiny little head. Wow. I'm hoping his head gets a little bigger at some point, so it's more proportional to his body.
Right.
I can't.
You wouldn't want him to have a complex.
Yeah, I wouldn't want him to have a Napoleon complex or a Trump complex or a Stephen Miller complex. Like, that little man syndrome down there is really unsettling, because it's so, they must feel so emasculated all the time, just walking around. Like, imagine being Donald Trump and hearing the stories that old men's, like, men tell stories that as you age, your testicles drop further. Donald Trump is probably getting to the point where his finally came out of his body. So he's not experiencing like what real old men get to experience, is where like they accidentally sit on their ball sack, they hurt themselves a little bit. He's still experiencing what like a 15-year-old, 12-year-old might, as they're like hitting puberty and beginning, and he's finding out that he actually has testicles, and that it's not just a little pinky size like worm that occasionally pops up. Like,
that would explain so much if he was hitting dementia and puberty at the same time. That would explain like a lot of his behaviors. Like saying quiet. Quiet Piggy.
Oh my God. Quiet Piggy has to be just like this. Like, I don't even have good words.
I am so filled with rage on behalf of those
so flabbergasted.
And like, I saw a compilation of 19 times that he has specifically addressed female journalists like this. And I'm just like, can you imagine going to college and probably graduate school and then busting your ass to get into, working your way up to getting into a good, storied institution, and then within that institution working your way up to being the person they send to the White House press pool? Like that's a 20-year career, at least. So getting to that point and having the president call you piggy to your face,
and then having none of the people in the room stand up. Nobody. Like, how little of the men that were in that room with her or on the
Yeah.
plane or wherever they were with her, bros, like, have a little testicular fortitude and, like, sack up a little, guys, and say something. Because, like,
It's
letting
so like
Donald Trump call a woman piggy and then tell her quiet piggy, one
quiet.
is fucking gross. And two, you men suck that were in that room who did not say anything because you're cowards, you're weak, you're spineless. You
Well,
couldn't stand up to an old weak man who's afraid. All you had to do, like all one of the men had to do in that crowd, was retort in a comical way back at the president. That's Miss Piggy to you, sir. And I bet
yeah.
she would have lit up because she would have probably gone back. She would have then been able to say something because somebody behind her would have
Yes.
had her back. Even if it's playing into the insult, if you take it and then just flip it, do you think Donald Trump would have known what to do? That man is so fucking scared right now. There's stories
I
about him
don't know.
stepping off a horse.
I feel like all these journalists, especially after the Pentagon purge, I feel like they're all so fucking scared to say anything lest he banish their entire publication, which would of course mean their job.
Yeah.
What kind of position are they in to be able to do something? Because it's not like he would just kick them out; he would kick their whole publication out.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I'm I feel really bad for her because she, like someone said in the chat, she was probably in shock. And
Yeah.
a quick way to break someone out of that shock is to have their back, is to just stand up for them because they go, whoa, their brain suddenly hits and goes, whoa, somebody's got me. And I bet you her brain would have shot right back into hyperdrive and come back with some of the most like on point vicious takedown, because the most cruel yet well thought out takedowns I have ever heard are from women who have just been viciously attacked by somebody and a man stood up and just said, hey, I got your back, I'm standing with you, and she came back and just fucking ripped somebody. Because men, we're scary as fuck, most of
I
us.
think
Like,
I
I
think
get
what
it
would
why
what
women get away from us, like we're scary as shit.
I think, like Courtney said, instead of saying something or trying to, every one of them should have closed their notebooks and walked out.
Oh,
Like, okay,
absolutely, yeah.
we're not going to do this. We're not anymore as long as you are not going to speak to us. You crave what we're giving you. You crave the media. You crave the
Mm-hmm.
attention. You crave the cameras. Every time you misbehave like a child, we're going to turn off the cameras and we're going to deprive you of what you so desperately crave, and we're all walking.
Yeah.
That's what they
But
should
they
be doing. And that would require all of them to collaborate and be like, hey guys, let's work together. And the next time he says something inappropriate, or she, the press secretary, the next time they say something, your mom, answering a question with your mom, they all should have turned off the cameras and walked out. Okay, if you're not going to be serious, we're not going to be serious. We'll come back when you're ready to be serious. That's it.
Yeah, and if they were on Air Force One or on a plane, shut your laptops, shut off your
Yep.
phones, just ignore him. Like, they lose power
Yeah.
when you bullies and trolls and assholes and small men who have testicular issues and size issues and need to overcompensate for everything in their life because they're just shitty human beings. Um, just ignore them. They wither away.
Yeah.
They never learn the lesson that negative attention is bad attention. They just want attention. Starve them.
Yeah.
Starve them of that intent, of that attention. Is okay. Just change the subject on them too. Like,
There's so much shit that
but
like
but it
raising
required
teenagers.
it,
Go ahead.
yeah. Like, just raise a
I have
kid.
more experience with this behavior that I could use around the White House right now and just
Mm-hmm.
treat them like teenagers with a smart mouth. Like, oh, well,
This is why we need more moms in positions of power,
yeah,
because y'all have for the most part, let's be honest here. The majority of women take on roles that are way outside of what normal people would consider as like, at least men would consider as like too much. They do too much. Women raise kids, manage households, balance budgets, get groceries, get clothes, get take care of all of these things, take care of us men when we're sick and we're tired and we're obnoxious. Man flu is a thing. We're weak as hell. Women push out babies. Like, we need to start uplifting and acknowledging the shit that women do as real work, one, and two, as experience that. Am I gender stereotyping right now, Courtney? Yes, I am. I am self gender stereotyping that and giving women props for so much that they often do unacknowledged. Because my wife's a stay at home wife right now and stay at home mom by choice, has been for a while by choice, but that's going to end soon because she's starting a business. And you know what? I'm so glad she is, because now I get to be dad. I get to step back a little bit and I get to do what I'm doing right now, which is build two businesses and hang out with Melissa and talk to friends and raise my kids too. And I get to have my dad time. And although my thing says not your dad, I am their dad.
Yes.
And, like, let's get
I'm
women in
everybody's
power.
mom.
Everybody's mom. Let's get women in power who have the like fortitude to say and do what's needed, who have the experience handling bratty teenage boys who have no self-control and who were never spanked or told no. And yeah, spanking may be bad or whatever, but they were never told no in a way that was meaningful by someone who had the authority to do it over them. And they just need a mom who they never had, which is weird. And they probably also need a dad, because most of them need dads and they have daddy issues. Like, it's because we lied that black men didn't have parents, or black families didn't have fathers, when it was really white families that gave up on like healthy family relationships and yada yada yada. Maybe these brats of children who claim to be men, Pete Hegseth, Stephen Miller, JD Vance, Snake, let go, nerd. Let go of the wires.
Yeah.
Stop wiring around.
And
they just need to be told off.
Women are incapable of these positions of leadership, especially national leadership. And, do you know how diplomatic women have to be from like 12 years old? How we have to learn to manage every man in the room's ego as we're working. Like in the workplace, we have to manage men's emotions. Like, what we do is dipsy all the time. I had when I was at the last nonprofit job I had, I was the data systems manager. So I show up, there's an IT director there who didn't like sharing the spot. You know what I mean? He didn't like sharing the IT slot. Been the guy hired me because he knew how to do data management. So this was after I was in the Navy and worked for the government and worked for a couple other nonprofits. So it was a while, I'd been doing it.
Yeah.
And so at the time I got there, this was a pretty big level nonprofit, and they were using PAL exclusively to collect donations. They didn't even have like a customized CMS for collecting donor information. It was bad. So I was like, okay, the first thing we have to do is start using a CMS and get a database in order so that we actually know who our donors are. And, let's do that. And he was very concerned because he didn't feel like I was concerned enough about security, and the security was most important. And PayPal is very secure. And I was like, yeah, okay, maybe 20 years ago, PayPal was the only option. But, oh, look, I froze again. Look at my face.
It's a good ranting phase, though. It is a good rant phase.
Somebody's got to get these faces when I freeze. We got to do screenshots of these. So he came in my office and he hitched up his khakis and he put his butt on my desk and then proceeds to explain secure socket layer to me, but he said it wrong. He was explaining it incorrectly. Like he didn't understand web security.
Oh my
and
god. I love,
I
you
just
know,
had to and I just had to look at him and nod.
you
Like,
know,
yeah,
I
okay.
had a similar experience being the brunt or the butt of one dumbass's bad life choices. And so he thought he could control a company, basically, that wasn't his, and mansplained the shit out of my job to me. And he didn't know what he was doing or what my job really was. So I was a back end DevOps with engineer, senior DevOps engineer running platform and infrastructure development. And he was telling me as a front end engineering director what my job was supposed to be, even though I didn't fall under his department. I knew my job better than him. I wrote the whole fucking playbook on the system and wrote the deployment system. And he was trying to tell me how the system worked. And I was like, thanks, bro. I wrote the thing. I'm pretty sure I know how this one works. I wrote the software for it and the manual that you're reading back to me. And he finally got what was coming to him. Um, After he tried to bully not just me, which he successfully did for 2 years, because, well, I went through a lot of therapy and I didn't give up, and I'm just a rock, and I just stubbornly sat there and worked. I probably should have left, but um, he did and said something super sexist to her and tried to bully her, and she said fuck no and took his ass out. She got fired in the process too. um,
Yeah.
and but you know what, she did the one thing I she's still a friend, and she did the one thing I never could do at that job, was get rid of him. And then they fired me not too long after that, because they outsourced my job to an entire different team. Instead of giving me the team that would have managed the software, they decided to rebuild the software next to it and replace everything I had done. Bucky, you don't have to choke me, dude. Like, this is not that kind of show. He
He's
likes to wrap himself into like a bolo tie around my neck and just sit there.
isn't that
Um,
isn't that him trying to kill you and eat you?
no, it's
Is
choking
it
out
like
of
a
love.
hug?
It's a hug. It's
Okay.
less death choke and more hug choke. Because ball pythons are uh, they're royal snakes, like in from where they're originally from. I believe in Africa, so I don't remember exactly, but they used to wear them as symbols of royalty, and however many ball pythons you could wear, the more you had, the more royal you were, the more regal you
Oh.
were. So they had like 10, 12, because they'll wrap around your arm and just sit there as a bracelet, and they don't mind each other, like unlike other snakes. They are also good for therapy, like Kim says. When they squeeze a little bit, it can be pretty therapeutic for some people. um, I don't like things squeezing
Not
my
this person.
neck, so it's always a weird feeling when he starts getting around my neck, and I'm like, I don't like this. But I let him, because he's on instinct. um,
I am such I am terrified of snakes. I've gotten to where I can look at them and appreciate them and enjoy them from a gentle distance, but touching them is I just can't. I just can't do it. I appreciate their role in the ecosystem. I love it. I had a black snake, a big black snake in my yard in Taylor's that kept the copperheads away because big black snake copperheads.
yep.
Um, so I loved him. I would wave from across the yard, "Hey fella." Sometimes I would let him, he would get in the chicken coop and get an egg, and I would just let him carry on his way with his egg that he got. It was fair payment for him
Mm-hmm.
keeping the yard free of pests. So I appreciate them, but just snuggling with a cat,
See, I'm
I mean with
allergic
a
to cats.
snake, I don't.
Yes, snake snuggling is different. You kind of have to get used to it. And to answer the question, no, probably would not get along well with a cat. Um, he does get
Trying to eat
along.
it.
He does get along well with my dogs, though. Two of my dogs will let us put him on top of them, and he'll just slither across them, and then just like they'll look at him indifferently, and then just put their heads back down. The other one will I keep him away from because he's a cattle dog and he's meant to kill snakes. And I'm like, yeah, no,
Mm,
let's
yeah,
test that theory on how good his instincts are, because he
right.
probably would eat arsenic. And I like Bucky. He's supposed to live for 30 years. We've only had him for one. And he's about a year and a half old now. So we've got him for quite a while. I'll be in my 60s when he goes, hopefully. Um, so yeah, he's a no, he would not be good with cats, but he is decent with dogs, depending on the breed. Um, if they are indifferent. And he's so fun. Like, yeah, he slithers funny, and it's weird. It's odd to see them move and like how their bodies um like contract and expand, but it's also super fun to watch them eat. Like, I may just put up one time. I recorded a 15-minute video of him swallowing a mouse. Um, and I just may put it up sometime and just put it out there and just be like, here's what it looks like when a snake unhinges its jaw and eats a mouse from tail to face. And you get to see the smiling face of a mouse as it goes down your snake's jowls. And they crunch up their neck and they become like a quarter of their size so that they can then stretch their body out without the mouse moving from that position because they've already gotten it into like the spot. And I'll see him, so he'll get the mouse or rat, say roughly about here, into his neck, and he'll scrunch up, and then he'll go straight out, and he'll get as big as he can, and just start shaking and vibrate, and you can see the mouse and rat like move a little bit down as he shakes his body. Um, it's so cool. I never thought I would enjoy seeing a snake eat something until I watched it in person. Um, so yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna put that video up sometime. It's 15 minutes long of him just swallowing a mouse, trying to figure out how to get it in, all those fun things. So
I'm going to
just in
show
case
you what Keegan. I'm going to show you
this
what
is
Keegan made me today.
ooh,
So okay, yep. Here we. This is an alien over our house. I don't know
okay,
why. Okay.
probably because he's seen the drones.
She she's la 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 jumping on her trampoline, paying no mind
The
to the
alien is
aliens. La la la. Right.
overhead.
And then her older brother is playing with his band. La la la. Older sister texting. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. And this is me.
Getting super mom. I love it.
Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
I'm. Can you see what I'm saying? Can you see?
No.
Woohoo!
Woohoo. I love
Oh,
that.
this is great.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, she brings me. Courtney said she thought this was the form you submitted to the chicken police with the hands drawn back.
No,
I
that's the
should.
submission. That's the submission for the drone tracking system for Flock. Melissa is submitting Flock safety pictures right now in hand drawn form.
Yes.
I needed this laugh tonight. I needed this. This was good.
Seriously. Oh my God. The chickens. I had to imagine explaining to a 6-year-old that you can't have the chickens because of bureaucracy. And she was like, not understand.
the government won't let you have chickens because this one lady,
Except that RFK really wants you to have chicken because it's healthier.
except for Susan. Susan doesn't want you to have chickens unless
Yeah,
you have
Susan is
all the
apparently not a
farms.
fan of RFK. Actually,
She
Susan sounds
doesn't
like
like
she would
raw
be.
eggs. She don't like those raw chicken eggs.
I don't
Just
like it.
coming
No.
and just raw milk in it over there.
So I'm gonna call her tomorrow to let her know that we are withdrawing the permit. But if I get that woman on the phone, I am going to ask what
What am I missing?
further information. I hand drew my backyard. Like what further is required?
She probably
just
wants you to get
to
like a
satisfy
stencil
my
out.
curiosity.
Like you have to overlay it with a Google Maps image with like
Yes.
topography lines
Yeah.
and
We need a
little like,
surveyor to come
yeah,
out.
you need to get a plot survey out and you need to do a drainage test and water retention test. There also has to be a
Yeah.
sound permit that you need to get. If you're going to get a
Right.
rooster, you have to get a sound permit, not
You
just
can't
a
have
chicken
a
permit.
rooster. That's already off the table. Rooster
Oh
banned in the
man.
city limit. Yes.
Well, I mean, I get that. I can sort of understand that when they're just like cockadoodle doing at 2 a.m, and sailors and service members are going, I finally got to sleep. And all you hear is this in the background all fucking morning. You're like, God damn it. They turned the bugles
Yeah.
on again.
Mm-hmm.
Or does it sound too
Yeah.
much like bugling so that they mistake
They
like
hop out of bed and think they're late for
yeah.
work.
Oh shit, I gotta get my uniform on, standing at attention, and it's just outside and it's just a chicken screaming.
Yeah.
That's probably why
Mhm.
they don't do it. Okay, so roosters not allowed.
No roosters. Not in these city limits. You can have drones, but you
No,
cannot have actual birds
nope.
that may
It's the whole birds are
cockatoodle too.
it's that whole birds are government surveillance drone theory coming true. Like they're replacing the birds with government surveillance drones. Just these ones don't flap their wings and they go zzz and they sound like insects. And if you've got a dog, they piss them off. So you probably know when your drones are coming because your dogs are getting pissed off and jumping around and barking.
Yeah.
At least I never have to worry about being snuck up on by drones. If they're anywhere within earshot of one of my dogs, he's going to be like 4 or 5 feet off the freaking ground, jumping up and down. This dog, we have a 6-foot fence in our backyard. He will get head over the fence if I'm flying my drone anywhere near the property in our yard. And he's just like, jump, jump. And he's not a big dog. He's like 1.5 feet tall, 2 feet. He's a golden retriever, treeing walker coonhound mix, and he will go nuts for drones. So I have a little personal drone protection, which is my dog Mochi, who's going to jump around and bark at you if you try and come onto my property with your drones. Flock security, don't be coming after me in Arkansas. My dog's going to get your drones, and we're going to know.
I'm doing some research. Courtney asked
Pigeons.
if it's all fowl or if you can have an ostrich. Now, I do know people that have quail.
Interesting.
I don't know why they have quail.
Could you have kiwi? Like they're birds.
Hold on, I'm reading the actual city ordinance. Apparently, ostriches are not, I mean, they're not named in the ordinance. Chickens are named. Oh,
how about an emu?
Exotic animal. Exotic animal means any live monkey, raccoon, skunk, wolf canine hybrid, exotic feline hybrid, squirrel, fox, leopard, tiger, ratites, or any other warm-blooded animal, poisonous reptile, or non-poisonous reptile 6 feet or longer. How long's Bucky gonna get?
About 5 feet. Females get up to like 6.5.
Okay, yeah.
So females maybe not, but he's a male. He's small enough.
I guess you'd have to go talk to Susan about an ostrich.
How about an emu? I want some emus because the Australians lost a war against the emus. Maybe we could bring them in and just flood DC with emus and see what happens. Like the Great Emu War of DC 2026. Like if the
Yeah.
Australian government, a government founded on a prison colony, can't get fucking emus extracted and win a war against emus, what are we gonna do? Like unleash the emus, unleash the emus, unleash the koalas, unleash the drop bears, just unleash the ostriches. Like I think
Just
we should
go
start a
open
movement.
all the cages at the National Zoo. Just open it and they have panda bears there. Do you know how cute it would be?
To
Panda
be eaten
bears
by a
just
panda
roaming
bear,
around DC.
just red
Oh,
red
they're
pandas.
Chinese. I fucking tackle them.
Oh
You
well,
know, where are
yeah,
your
yeah,
papers?
yeah. Don't be a sloth; they'll throw you out. Sloths are from Latin America. Those are they don't like
Oh,
them. No,
no
those
way.
brown sloths are going to get in the way. So slow, they're just going to form their own ecosystem as they slowly crawl across Capitol steps. 20 years later, Donald Trump has finally shit his pants and the sloth war has ended. And they have
Oh,
made it onto the Capitol building 20 years later. But if you get those
20.
suckers swimming, they'll move across water pretty fast. They're quick. They're good swimmers, but man, are they slow. Yeah, but they'd get deported fast. ICE would pick them up.
Oh yeah,
Um,
super quick.
so no mention of emus. What about elephants? I know some cities have like restrictions on elephants because of zoos or like circuses that used to
I
come
guess
into town in
it would
traveling
fall
groups.
under any other
I guess it's a
warm,
warm-blooded mammal.
yeah, any other warm-blooded animal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Trying to think of how we can creatively, what type of creative resistance we can come out of with this is how can we flood Mitch McConnell's office with chickens and get him in violation so Susan has to come and yell at him at the chicken department. Like, I want to
Oh,
get
she would.
the angry bureaucrats yelling at Congress people all day for violating stupid codes. Like, I
Yes.
know you used to be able to order boxes of cat feces and mail them to people. I'm not saying that you
What?
should or could still anymore, but you can order boxes of rocks that can get sent to people's office. You can
Wait,
order
no, I need you to
sand.
rewind. You can order a box of cat shit.
Yes, on
This
the
is what
internet.
we use the almighty internet for?
This is what we use the almighty internet for. This and ordering chickens on Craigslist. Well, I did this in college once, was order chickens. I didn't order them, but I know of people who ordered chickens on Craigslist, and they were actually fairly delicious once you fried them up. But you do get in trouble on college campuses if you're on campus and you bleed chickens out on your front porch, and the sorority next
I would
door
imagine.
calls the police on you, going, they're bleeding chickens out for something, and we're just bleeding them out because that's the healthy way to, you know, get blood out of a chicken, and we didn't want to mess up our chef's kit. We didn't want to mess up Debbie's kitchen. She was our
Yeah.
house mom. Our chef, we didn't want to mess our kitchen up with chicken blood, so we did it outside where there's a hose. But apparently that's frowned upon when you're in city
Frowned
limits
upon?
in Pittsburgh and on campus at school. So you get in trouble for that.
Susan called the city of
Susan
Pittsburgh
called
and
the
said, I
city.
sense a disturbance in your city related to chickens.
There is a
You must go
disturbance in the
investigate.
force. I felt the vibrations. The chickens have cooed to me. They told me Kim Davis was mad about homosexuals, and we must get mad
I don't,
together.
I don't think they would have gotten mad at my college because I went to USC and it's so old. The main part of the campus is so old. The president's house is still there, and there's a little like garden behind it with a little brick wall. And when you take the campus tour, they point out this has been the president's house literally since the college's inception in the 1700s, I think. And So there would be chickens and goats just like roaming from the president's house. So I mean, I don't think they would get mad at it. I think they would be they'd be like, it's
Yeah,
historic.
Carnegie Mellon
It's
frowned
historic.
upon it. Carnegie Mellon University frowned upon things like that. They didn't want to have
I went to
wild
the
animals in
University
town.
of South Carolina. There wasn't much we frowned upon
Yeah,
except
we
sex,
were in the
except integration. They
we
frowned
were
upon that.
our school didn't frown upon that.
Mhm.
And but they did frown upon wild animals in the middle of the city. They didn't frown upon the one time we had snowpocalypse in this. I think it was 23rd. Wait,
Did you
when
get
did I
dining
graduate?
hall trays and go sledding?
No, even better. 2011, when Pittsburgh Northeast got hit by a huge snowstorm. It was snowpocalypse, and it was either 2010 or 2011. And the university had to be told by the mayor to close campus because they wanted to keep campus open, even though there was 2 feet of snow on the main road and you couldn't drive into campus.
Mhm.
Anyway, they finally closed campus for a week. We got a week of vacation in college just for fun. And my friend had a Jeep Wrangler, and we had sleds and rope. And so
Oh,
we went
wow.
tobogganing down the main streets of Pittsburgh, and
This
they did
does sound
not
like a
frown
lot of
upon that.
men's decisions. Mhm.
It it was more or less men's decisions, young men
Mhm.
making stupid decisions, but not getting other people in trouble. We were most often best about getting ourselves in trouble and not getting
Yeah.
other people in trouble. Or like, I mean, I had to chase down a friend when we were in college when Fire Four Loco first came out. The ones that would kill you if you drank too many of them. Like if you
Right.
drank 2 or 3 of them, you died
Yeah.
through probably heart palpitations. We used to play beer pong with them, and we
That's a
did that.
that's a solid life
That's a
choice.
solid life choice. An entire can per side. So whoever loses gets half a can, basically. You
Mhm.
get roughly half a can or more per round. Well, we did that one night, and my buddy, all leaving him anonymous, I'll rename him to Squirrel because that's a good nickname. Um, got naked soon after, blacking out
Mhm.
from 2 or 3 Four Locos, and we had to chase him down through the streets of Pittsburgh. And we lived on the edge of town. Our house was called Ghetto House, not because we were in a ghetto, but because the house was it was 3 stories with a basement. You could shake the front door and door frame, and it almost fell off. There was a hole in the floor in the middle of the floor. The floorboard was like the main floor joist was stuck together by 2 flat pieces of metal and bolts. Not even like a whole like framing piece, but just like
Wow.
broken in half and shifted together
Yeah.
with bolts. So it was really like messed up house. Behind it,
It
down
it
the
probably
hill,
should have been condemned.
oh, it should have
I
been,
don't think people should have been living there.
especially after we got done with it. Like there were 6 college men who lived in that house,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for a year, and the nice old lady who rented it to us knew she had a dump, and but she was willing to rent it to us for like $800 a month for 6 bedrooms. It was okay until you tried to go out the backyard and it went down into one of those big like water drainage areas, and that's where all the crackheads would leave their needles and heroin, all their needles down. And we had to go down there while my buddy was in his fucking boxers, running around with no shoes, no socks, no clothes, and we chased this asshole. We had to barricade our house from the outside so he couldn't re-escape from us afterwards. Like that was what college was for me. So if anyone wonders why I have
This
experience
why
talking
they
about drinking,
banned Four Loco.
this is yes, yes, yes.
These
So,
these
like
kids now don't even know.
no, they don't. Like Four Loco nowadays is like coffee. Like you could drink a Four Loco and you're like, eh. I'm okay. But back then it was like you drink a Four Loco and you're dead. Like you're dying on the
Yeah.
side of the street, you're peeing in people's gas tanks, you're vomiting on people's houses, what have you. Like
Yeah.
this is why I have the experience to talk to bros and these dumbasses who never got out of the football fraternity and just thought that was the peak of life, or like lived at the peak of high school and were like, I'm pro. And you're just like, bro, you're a semi rapist. And I like, you got life decisions you need to fix. That's where I get my experience from, is I lived with that. I was a fraternity brother.
Yeah.
I am a fraternity brother. I pledged. I led. I got hazed. We did some of the dumbest shit too. Like
Yeah. That's
dumb,
what you
dumb
do. It's
shit.
college.
Oh,
You do the
one of the
dumb
best
shit.
dumb things. You'll appreciate this dumb shit that we did as part of our pledging process. It wasn't required, but it became a requirement for us from the brothers. Was we had to go to the local Scientology center and do the test and sit there and talk with them. And 13 college freshman boys came into a Scientology center and made fun of them for 3 hours as they tested each and every one of us on that stupid little machine and told us if we could be saved or not, while we just destroyed them. It just, I knew when I was a kid that cults were stupid and Scientology was the cultiest of the cults. And I joined a fraternity, which is kind of like a cult, and then went and hazed another cult while being
Yeah.
hazed in my cult. So
Yeah.
hazeception. So yeah, I'm like I'm like the cooler version of Pete Hegseth, just without the hate tattoos and sexual assault. And I have no
Without the
NDAs, no NDAs on
without
sexual
the
assault charges.
crippling vanity. Do you have a makeup room just to the side there where you're doing your makeup?
Um, we used to have a makeup desk in our house and like a little area that my wife would get ready at, but I never really used it. I would paint my nails occasionally. I still do that. But no, I don't have a
Yeah.
powder room sitting next to me. I don't have four-star generals who are waiting hand and foot over me with hot towels and underage
Right.
children or whatever Pete Hegseth is
Do you ever
into.
call in the highest ranked person you've ever worked for just to call them fat to their face? Bonus points if they flew around the world
You
for
know,
you to call them fat to their face.
I don't know if I've ever had the power to call somebody to fly to me. I don't know if
Yeah.
I've ever wielded that much power in my life. Like, hey, you need to fly to my location. I've been summoned before. Like, I've been told I
Yeah.
have to go places, but no, I don't know if I've summoned my children um places before, I guess,
I can't even
but I
imagine
wouldn't
like
ever call
running
my children
into
fat like
somebody.
that.
Yeah, I can't even imagine running into somebody like I didn't like somebody I just didn't like and we didn't get along and me being like, "Hey, you've gotten fat."
I
I
have
can't.
never once opened a conversation with that. I can
Right.
I can
Right.
proudly
You know
say
what
I've
you
never
should
done that
do?
either.
You should probably shave and lose some weight. Yeah. Yeah, that's what the
Yeah. Hey, you know how you
yeah.
were really pretty in high school? That mustache has grown in. You should probably wax it. Like that
Yeah.
that's like mm. I know people who would do that too. I do know people who would say that, like, sort of as the first thing
I
they
bet
say to other people.
I bet Pete would I bet he's been like that his whole fucking life. He's a bully, you know? He's just a
Yeah,
bully dude and I bet he is that guy.
that's because he has no friends. That's what happens when you have no friends. Like, he
Yep.
made himself he's an incel who just happens to have control of the most powerful military in the world and access to nuclear weapons and is treating it like a game of Risk. He
Oh my
couldn't
God,
even he
that
couldn't
was one
even
of the
go
things I
into
was
like a
legit.
real game.
That's one of the
But
things I was legit gonna rant about. Not Pete Hegseth, but the parade of former enemies of America. We've had like
walking into America,
rolled out the red carpet at the White House for a former Al Qaeda leader that the U.S. put a 10 million bounty on his head. Like, and now we're, I saw something today that said it's a good thing Obama killed Osama bin Laden, or they'd be inviting that motherfucker in for hors d'oeuvres.
they
Like,
probably would. He'd be Trump's best friend. I mean, MBS
what is happening?
Mohammed bin Salman tortured and dismembered Jamal Khashoggi, an
Yeah.
American resident journalist, tortured
Yes.
and dismembered him, and we just let him into the White House.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I remember somewhere in Article 3, Section 3 of the Constitution, which outlines treason, is providing aid and comfort to our enemies, not during a time of
Yes.
war, but providing aid and comfort to our enemies. And I want to dispel as part of my rant. That was something like Stephanie Wilson and I have been having a back and forth today because I'm so mad that there's like no legitimate recall method that we have in this country because like why? Just why? There's no legitimate recall method and they've insulated themselves permanently, but we were talking about like treason and definitions of treason and like the we I'm of the school of thought and I'm okay to be convinced otherwise, but I think my school of thought is right on this one, is that treason does not need to be during a time of war, and it can you can be convicted of treason at any point because we do not have to declare that we are in war for somebody to try and undermine us and declare a war against us, i.e., Russia's at war with us. We're not technically at war with Russia, but a
Right.
Russian agent is sitting in the White House dismantling the government and providing aid and comfort to a war criminal and enemy of our country in Putin, war criminal and enemy of our country, MBS, war criminal and enemy of our country, Benjamin Netanyahu.
Mm-hmm.
Those are enemies of the state at this point. Like I would advocate that just because we're not at war does not mean we cannot convict somebody of treason. And that's
I
my
agree.
we need to, or my call to action is start putting in the zeitgeist that treason is real. And yes, Donald Trump, you're stupid with your stupid we're going to hang Democrats for telling service members to follow their oath of enlistment and or commission
Like,
because
how is that
that's
even a controversial statement? Hey
yeah.
guys, remember the oath you took.
Yeah,
Period.
remember, you are allowed to disobey, or it is your duty and obligation to
Yes.
disobey illegal orders. Not allowed. It is your duty and obligation to the Constitution of the United States of America to disobey illegal orders and anti
Yes.
constitutional orders. Anyone in the armed services gets to say no to an illegal order and say, I am not going to put my career and life on the line for your illegal order, and you get to do it, and that's fine. Yeah, you're probably going to get court martialed because that's what we do. Um, and it's not just this time of year, but all of the time we would court martial somebody. But you have to be willing to do that, and they can't court martial all of you. They can't court martial you
Yeah.
all
Right.
because at some point you just can't do work when all the E4s and below have gone. Yeah, no, I ain't gonna do that. I'm just not showing up.
That's what
When
I'm
the sham
hoping is
shield
going to happen.
yeah, when the sham shield comes out and the E4 mafia in the army goes, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna do that, and they
Yeah.
just leave. They're going to leave. I was an E4 in the army at one point. It's called the sham shield for a reason. It shields you from all sorts of things because you got this cool little shield on your chest and you think you're invincible. So you do the smart, dumb shit, which is you find the easiest way to get out of work.
Yeah.
It's hard work to go to war. It's real easy just to
Mhm.
go, I don't want to fucking do that. That's
Yeah, I'm not
illegal.
doing that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. It's easy. Be a shammer. Be a sham shield. Sham shields unite. Protect America by shamming out. And that's okay. I'm going to leave that
Shamming.
with our American soldiers is sham the fuck out of this. March out of step.
Yes.
Do all the things because they don't have any regs. So you don't have to and you don't have to follow the orders of a pedophile. Any order that a pedophile gives you that has been outed as a child sex trafficker, pedophile, and more than likely agent of a foreign country, you do not have to follow a single order he says because they're all illegal, because he is anti constitutional. You don't have to follow a single order he says. But you know what? That is not treasonous sedition. That is just remembering your oath. Sorry, Donald Trump. Just because you don't know how to remember oaths because you're too dumb to read and you don't know how to fucking do it, and your dementia-addled brain is just mush right now, and you're finally going through puberty, so you got all these hormones running around because your balls are finally dropping, and your penis might finally get larger than the tip of my fucking pinky over here, and might be able to do more than this weird flexy thing. Like, just because you're going through that right now doesn't mean the rest of us need to go through your little manriad. Like
Mhm.
your man time, you can go do that somewhere else. Like we talk about women's menstrual cycles and like period cycles. We need to start talking about men's emotional and hormone cycles and how
Yes.
destructive they are for little boys like Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth. And that walking as Lawrence reminded me of the word schmegma of a human being, which is the little gross shit you get inside the tip of your penis if you don't have a circumcised penis. That it's like it's sort of the beginnings
There's a word
of
for that.
yeah, it's called schmegma. It's almost like a yeasty infection sort of thing. That's what Stephen Miller and Pete Hegseth and JD Vance remind me of. For people,
Yes.
they're the schmegma of men, and it's the menstrual cycle. Like the menstrual cycle of schmegma is running our country, and I hope I leave all of you with that disgusting image of Stephen Miller, the worm of a human being, popping his uncircumcised head out of RFK's ear, going, I am the schmegma, and just ripping through the hood. That's what they are. Make fun of them because fuck them, because they're weak, tiny, gross human beings. You're welcome for
They are.
that, Melissa,
Thank you for
about
that mental
schmegma.
image. I'm gonna hang on to that.
You're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to go wash my mouth out for you after this.
Right.
Let me just wash my mouth out with soap after that. Nick did a bad thing. You're welcome,
All
Courtney.
right. It's getting
That
near the time where I have to put my wily child to bed.
is she
I
on the
wanted
table again?
to. She is not this week. Thank God. I did hear her like 2 days after the last one of the other kids be like, "Hey, get off the table." So I guess this is a recurring behavior of hers that has begun. I don't know.
We're gonna call this the
But I'm
unhooding of
never
Stephen Miller.
and I'm never in the room when she does it. So I don't even know the nature of like what she's doing on the table. Like, is she just standing there? Is she like, what's going on? Where
You
are you
should put a
dancing on the
camera in
table?
there.
That's a different conversation.
You should get a little
Hmm?
flock security drone for your kitchen so you can fly it around and watch her while she's on the table. Um, Make sure
There's
to
just
get
a big
or one of
sliding
those.
patio door out there, so I could just ask the city to fly their drone by the window and tell me what's
Oh yeah,
going
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
since
Keep
she's
an eye on the
on the
inside too.
table.
Why not? Yeah, why not keep an eye on both the inside and outside? It's the unhooding of Stephen Miller as he worms his way out of RFK's ear into the schmegma of our life. Schmegma. Schmegma. It's a weird word. It's like
It
schmuck.
is, and now it's stuck
Um,
in my.
Stephen Miller's a
Okay,
schmuck too. So just put that out there because fuck that guy.
I
I'm
need
gonna
to be serious for a moment.
All right,
We have to
serious for a
see.
moment. I'm going to be serious for a
Uh,
moment too. I'm going to put
because
up your
I
QR.
would, yes, I would be remiss if I did not mention that today is Transgender Day of Remembrance, and it's um, I don't write and post a lot about it. It's a difficult thing for me to wrap my head around, honestly, and my son has asked that I not talk about him so much anymore. So um he's okay every once in a while, but he just doesn't want me to talk about him a lot. So anyway, but I wanted to read the numbers because it's pretty um so last year, the Transgender Day of Remembrance, they remember 33 people who their lives ended at the violence or they took their own lives. And this year, that number is 58. And that was pretty staggering to see
And that's
how many
reported numbers too.
that's reported, right? And obviously, there's always far, far more that don't get reported. So,
Yeah.
my action for today is to get on calls.org. And I want all of you to just open a conversation with your elected politician of choice about where they stand on these issues and what they're doing to protect trans people. And it doesn't need to be a confrontational thing, but maybe let them know that the amount of trans people who lost their lives this year doubled, nearly doubled, and that you just would like to know what they, as your elected representative, are doing um, about this crisis and what they're doing about the government targeting this group of people, and have that conversation, because I think a lot of people aren't even having the conversation with their elected representatives. They feel like if they aren't trans or they don't have a trans friend or family member, that it's not really their fight to fight. And it's all of our fight to fight. It is all of our fight to fight. If we
Yeah.
aren't fighting it, no one is. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my action for today. Fivecalls.org. You can look up, put in your zip code. It'll give you the numbers of all your elected representatives. So give them a call and have that conversation. And here's my QR code. Subscribe and follow. We'll be doing, I have a lot of fun stuff going on. I have a new office, like a real big girl
Ooh.
office. And so I'm setting it up to do lives from there. I think on Thursday nights, I am going to go into the office because it'll be all empty and I can really get ridiculous and goofy and whatever
And
and really
ranty.
rant if I want to. Yeah. So, yeah. So, if you would like to help contribute to the rent of my new office, paid subscribers are always, always welcome.
And
But
to
can't
second
afford it. That's
Melissa's,
cool. That's cool.
yeah, free is just as good too in a lot of in many ways because it gets the word out
Yes.
and it also gets your email. So Melissa has your email for her email list, which can be ported over to different systems if we ever need to move. So there's a lot of good advantages of becoming a subscriber, paid or free, and help Melissa pay for that office and for her chicken permit so that she can fight back against Susan, the chicken lady, and
Yes.
eventually get her permit for Norfolk, Virginia to have a chicken because it's harder to get a chicken in Norfolk, Virginia than it is a gun. And that's my sale
There it is.
for Counter Story Media is we need to change the story and change the media narrative
Yes.
on this so that it's easier to get a chicken in Norfolk than a gun. Anyway,
Absolutely. Yes.
not just putting it out there. And then also myself, I guess, is Come to Sick of This Shit Publications. That's my home. I am not Shane
Do
Urich.
it.
I'm Nick Parrow. I'm the co-founder here at Banner and
Not Shane.
Backbone. I'm not Shane Urich. I'm Shane Light right now. And filling in for my good bud because he's not feeling well today. And he asked if I could jump on tonight to make sure that the show went forward and Melissa wasn't alone. So join me on Sick of This Shit publications, so that I can come help make more of this possible, and put more of these systems together and get information out there for everyone. It's also where I like to try and do poetry and masculinity stuff and not be a giant testicle like Stephen Miller is, or Schmegma that is Pete Hegseth and folks like that. And then obviously I'm gonna promote my boy Shane Urich, who is
Oh
the
yes.
other half of this amazing project of the Rant Act. He is the lead of the Firebrand Project. He is a firebrand himself. He does incredible journalism and research and investigative work, and he's putting in so much time and effort. Go support him. Go help him continue to make this full time, and give him the ability to maybe pay for some medical insurance and other things on top of it too if he needs it, so that he can stay healthy, because shit is expensive in America. And then one final one is the network itself. Banner and Backbone, come support us here. Come become paid subs. We are on our way to 150 paid subs with the network. It helps us grow, make more of this possible, so that I can get more shows with more people on here that are additional to the Rant Act, so that we can help connect people. That's our big thing, is we are the network of connection. We're putting people together, and we're getting people out there, and we're putting crazy and good ideas out there and flooding the zone for democracy. Because this is my favorite tagline that Stephanie Wilson and I came up with this morning, is we're starting the new Tricentennial Action Group, or TAG, You're It for Democracy.
Ooh.
Yeah. So TAG,
I like that.
You're It for Democracy, y'all. It's your turn. Let's all step up. Let's go do something. Scan the QR codes. Join Banner and Backbone. Join Melissa. Join me. Join Shane. Maybe hit that QR code in the corner and donate to Feeding America and help support Substack Scribe's team. Hit our $20,000 mark for donations. We are over $10,000 donated to Feeding America. That's 100,000 meals. 100,000, y'all.
Yes.
That's something to feel good about.
Incredible.
So that's my call to action, is go pay
Hey,
for.
somebody said in the chat that would you consider doing a poetry stream? I'm going to offer up the Counter Story Cafe right here to do that, because where better to have a poetry stream than in the coffee house, right?
Yeah, I'll gladly do some poetry in the coffee house. I've got the saga of Ronald and Heffrey that may need to be told through poetry. Names changed for legal protection. I don't want to accidentally out, some terrible, terrible human being named Ronald or Heffrey, and get sued on accident. I don't have the finances for a lawyer, so help become a paid subscriber so you can help us get lawyers, so that we can say the shit that you guys can't and not get sued for it.
Right.
But yeah, poetry hour, poetry stream would absolutely. I do those on my Sick of This show every so often. So thanks for the question, but I'll bring some poetry here to the Rant Act every so often. But I'm going to drop off because I smell chili in the background cooking in my house, and it smells delicious.
Ooh,
and I'm hungry.
That's good stuff. I smell a kid on a table that I should go get off the table and get her in bed.
Oh, fum. Knocking them off the table one by one.
Yep.
All right, y'all.
It's happening.
Have a great night.
All right. It's been fun.
Have
a good night, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes. Thank you so much. And Shane, get better so you can come back and rant.
Yeah. And Melissa and Shane, we'll see y'all next week on the Rant Act at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Thanks, y'all.